welcome back to Election Center, and in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little different from what I normally do on my channel. I found this cool game online called the Campaign Trail, where you play as one of the candidates in previous presidential elections, and try to win as that candidate. And so yeah, I've seen some other people do this on YouTube, and it looks like a cool game, and I've played it uh, myself a good amount. And so for this video, I thought it'd be cool to try to win the 1976 election as Gerald Ford. He lost the 1976 election to Jimmy Carter, and so we're going to try to win with him. It was actually a decently close election. He got like 250 electoral votes to Carter's 290. Lost the popular vote by a couple of points. So I think we have a good chance to do this, especially if I play my cards right here. Interesting thing though, he starts off way down in the polls, but some things happen and he gets back up. But yeah, select Gerald Ford here. Can select some alternate running mates. We're just going to go with our timeline, Bob Dole. Default winner take all system for each state, normal difficulty. And sometimes it takes a minute to load here, but it looks like it has loaded now. So they're asking us to sort of talk about our decision to nominate Bob Dole as our running mate. And so this answer here, Bob Dole is a staunch conservative who really sets the tone for the direction I want to take. I feel like that could alienate some, moderates or maybe even people on the other side from supporting me. So I'm going to go with the more less specific answer here. Bob Dole is the type of Republican that the entire party can get behind, and he has served his home state of Kansas well. So, yeah, my advisor feedback now that you get after answering a question sometimes. Bob Dole is an unexpected choice for running mate, but it could work out well this fall. All right, moving on here. What will your overall campaign strategy be this year? So we could go with sort of an attack on Jimmy Carter, calling him untested and whatnot. We could exploit the fact that we're president, get a lot of publicity from that, and generally look very presidential. We could go sort of the conservative approach, hardline conservative. I'm trying not to do something like that, though. We could talk about our open administration, because, in light of Watergate, that's sort of what the voters are looking for. In reality, in our timeline, he sort of went with this presidential thing, I think. Maybe he did both of these, but we're going to go with open administration. And we're getting good marks on that from our advisors. So, yeah, I think that was the right call. Hopefully this will help us win. We're trying to win by as wide of a margin as possible, I think. That's what we're going to go for. I think it's going to be fun to try to go for a landslide here. So, as I said, Ford started off way down, I believe, in the polls, and you see on this map here, it's just blue across the board. So Carter's just demolishing us here. And let's try to see how many states we're leading in here. Losing Alaska, losing Arizona, and we're edging out Carter here in Utah, but everywhere else we're behind. And so right now, if the election were held today, we'd lose 534 to 4 if these things turned out to be correct. So we're not in good shape, but we will naturally start improving because it somewhat follows the course of what actually happened in 1976. Some things are going to hurt Carter, help us, and we'll shore up some support throughout the game. But these states where I'm barely down, I really don't think I got to pay attention to because I'm going to naturally boost in those areas. But states like California, these were sort of the battlegrounds of 1976, I think, where maybe it wasn't massive margins. I believe California was pretty close. I may be wrong on that, but I believe it was. We're down by double digits, but, before we actually visit, I want to show you guys here in California. This is sort of the state summary. Honest government is pretty much important in all states, but on these issues here, California is just moderate on everything. So we're going kind of moderate, trying to win California. A lot of electoral votes. So this is sort of a question about honesty and integrity. A lot of voters are concerned about honesty and integrity in our government. What can you say about yourself in this aspect, particularly in light of your pardon of Richard Nixon? So Gerald Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon. Uh, Controversial. I don't think it helped him. I believe it was, sort of a holding him back a lot. But we can answer here. I've taken our country and led it past the nightmares of Watergate and Vietnam. Anyone can see that I've led an open, honest administration. So I believe that sort of means that we're not going to try to prove, though, that we've led an open and honest administration. Sometimes with these types of questions, I think it might be where like we're trusting that the voters are going to see it, but we really want to push that we're honest. Honesty and integrity is one thing. Voters want to hear about solution. Voters. Okay, so this is like just like saying sort of downplaying the importance of honesty and integrity to the voters, talking about tax cuts. That's not going to be good if we use this answer. This is going on the attack to Jimmy Carter. We don't want to be too like divisive like this. I think we really needed to stress we're open and honest. Okay, this is good. I will let cameras into the White House so the people can see for themselves. I'm a normal, approachable, friendly president. I didn't spend my whole life trying to run for office. Boom, we are going with this, and we're getting good marks from our advisor. This is a good strategy. You need to make the case that you've also acted with integrity in office, given the climate of this year's election. All right, what is your opinion on the court-ordered abusing of students within school districts in a way designed to achieve racial balance in our schools? So, I believe, being too pro-abusing is going to be controversial in some states. Um, but I believe that ways can be found to minimize forced abusing while also remaining true to the nation's ideals and our educational goals. This is a necessary step to enforce the Brown decision and uphold the ideals of America. I'm opposed to these plans and believe that the courts have erred greatly. I can see both sides of this. It's a hugely disruptive practice, yet we need to fight for integration somehow. This is probably, a vague enough answer to not alienate too many people. And I think it worked out well. I think I played this before and it worked out well to use that answer. But checking up on our stats, it seems that we've actually started slipping further. But yeah, let's look at these states we want to win. California, obviously, 45 electoral votes. We only have 4 right now. If we can get those 45, it'd be great. Uh, you know, Ford, he won some states here in the Midwest. Uh, you know, so let's try to go after these here. Let's go for Illinois here. Uh, Carter's up 59 to our 38, and they're the same makeup as California in terms of important, honest government, moderate on all those other issues. So we'll try to go moderate, but 26 electoral votes. We really want this. So this is about abortion. What is your opinion on abortion, and specifically the recent Roe v. Wade decision? So we can go overtly pro-choice, overtly in support of Roe v. Wade. The most liberal end of the spectrum here. That's not going to work out for us. Gerald Ford probably would not be saying this. People disagree on this practice and decision, but the Supreme Court deserves our respect. I'm personally opposed to abortion, but I respect this decision and will not try to overturn it. I will uphold the law as president, but I think it should be left to each state to decide. I would support an amendment on this issue. I think this is going to be the answer we want to go with. Once again, trying not to alienate, trying not to be just trying to be more moderate. Well, obviously, not being totally vague and not giving any sort of answer. There's been a lot of debate in your party on this issue, but allowing each state to make their own decision is a good compromise, right? All right. So that's what our advisor had to say on it. So, yeah, good compromise. Do you believe that the United States can afford a reduction in defense spending? As president, I will remain vigilant against the Soviet threat. Under no circumstances would I decrease our defense budget. Will work out well in some areas. It will work against us in others, though. I don't support cuts to be sure, but neither do we need increases. We have made great strides in reducing tension with the Soviet Union. Vietnam is over, and detente with the Soviet Union has reduced the need for massive defense expenditures. I believe that any attempt to reduce our deficit should include defense cuts. That's not going to go over well. It's just the most liberal end of the spectrum here. I think we should go with the half and half. And, the Soviet fear, we're really, sort of being clear that we want to stick up to the Soviets, or we're really sort of, not being weak on national defense, but we're also not vouching for defense increases. And this answer here, I think, is going to be good. I don't support cuts, but to be sure, but neither do we need increases. We have made great strides in reducing tension with the Soviet Union. And voters like the fact that we're not at war right now, according to our advisor. So this is a good answer for us. And we've solidified here in Utah, up 6 points. And it looks like we're just down in every other state, though, in these gray states. And, everywhere else really solid. Oh, we edged up in Illinois. We're having success. Indiana, we're going to win this state probably. More conservative, it looks like. And I think maybe we could try to win Texas here. But we'll see. So yeah, it looks like this West Coast is starting to solidify for us. Illinois is starting to get better for us. Utah solidifying. Sorry, West Coast is not solidifying, but we're naturally improving here. I think we want to go for New York. This could be an interesting state to try to win with a lot of electoral votes too. Once again, a very moderate state. Do you support the ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment, which states equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex? So, last time I think I said I support this. I played 1976, and they gave me good marks for that. It's just the more mainstream answer. But I'll just say it's a good thing for America. Yeah. So this is just sort of the mainstream, unless you count a guy like Reagan they add. Would you support a law for universal health care in this country? So I don't want to be, staunchly anti-universal health care. But let's see here. I would absolutely support a law like this as president. It is past time that our nation had health care coverage for all. Depend. This is sort of just saying it depends. I'm not opposed to it in theory. Ooh. Did not work. Folks, we made a mistake, possibly. This is not going to be good for the Republicans. Okay. It looks like we started slipping. Oh, crap. I didn't know that was going to have such an impact. I don't know if it's because of that or not. But that was the wrong decision. Let's go, though. Let's just try to win Pennsylvania. What is your position on a pardon of Vietnam War draft evaders? So we, once again, kind of want to take the slightly more conservative, but not staunchly conservative approach. We don't want to, say we want a total instant pardon. In reality, Gerald Ford sort of issued a partial pardon with, or was a pardon with, conditions. Jimmy Carter upgraded that to, a real full pardon. Um, so this answer gives us good press coverage, according to the game. I'm remembering this question, but, upsetting the vets, possibly. And I think we should think about this. I already pissed off people in my party. I'll just uh, say millions. We'll just go for the good press coverage here. See, you've definitely enjoyed a day of generally positive press coverage with this stance, but behind the scenes, conservatives and veterans are upset. So, yeah, we have already sort of alienated some people in our party. Um, so it's probably just going to be worth it for the press coverage I'm feeling. What is your position on the federal government making loans to states or cities in need of financial help? So this we don't want to do. This could be okay. This we have to consider individually. And I think this is sort of just justifying it totally. Okay, I'm starting to think maybe I don't want to alienate too many conservatives. This seems like something that would do that. Let's go super vague here. Alright. So how many questions in are we? We'll see. But it looks like we're still only leading in Utah. So we got to step on the gas. Let's go to Ohio. Let's go to the Midwest. Oh, let's go to Michigan here, where we're doing a little better. So this is about the Humphrey Hawkins Full Employment Act. And we want to sort of say, yeah, I guess I'm not that opposed to it, but I'm not overtly in favor of it. So yeah, this is reasonable and conciliatory. So I think this is a good enough answer. Your campaign has just received a big break in the form of a controversial interview that Carter did with Playboy, where he confessed to committing adultery in his heart and used some coarse language. Any thoughts? I will hold a press conference and remind people that we don't know anything about this guy. What other hidden, perverse notions does he have? Or we could do, this is great. We need any good news we can get at this point. I don't think we should take the risk of squandering it by going overboard and attack. I think we should just let the good news, for us at least, just do its work. This is a no-brainer. Just sit back and let Carter shoot himself in the foot. That's what my advisor says. And yeah, I think they're right. So, oh wow, you can see here, it just got a lot redder. We actually picked up some states here. Alaska, Arizona, that's 9. Add the 4 we've had this time from Utah. 13. Idaho, 17. Wyoming, 20. Nebraska, 25. Let's see, any other stuff here for us? We're leading in Colorado, 32. Maybe I hope I didn't accidentally miscount along the line here. Oh, we narrowly, it looks like, are up in Kansas. So this gets us to 39. We're not up in Indiana. Oh, Michigan got a lot closer. Okay, so it'd still be a major landslide right now, but we actually are doing a bit more respectably than we were before. Let's go for some of these states. Let's be real conservative here in Indiana. I'm gonna maybe try to be a tad more conservative from now on. So these sort of helped Ford, these debates here. There is a talk of a presidential debate for the first time since 1960. Is this something you're interested in doing? See, the debates were helping Ford. He had some good performances, but he made a major gaffe at one of the debates, and that hurt him. But, we're way down anyway. Let's just go for it. See, you performed well, except for an unfortunate gaffe about the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. Furthermore, as the election gets closer, the economy is improving, and voters are giving things a closer look. Okay, so this is overall a net for us. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Some of your operatives want to attack Carter for the way he has equivocated on abortion, gun control, abusing labor issues, and so on. Will you approve a series of ads labeling him as a flip-flopper? Maybe some limited spots. Oh, good point. The problem is, if we go negative against Carter, he's sure to hammer us on the Nixon parter. We really have a lot to lose here. Let's do some limited spots. This is probably the best strategy. A few attacks on legitimate issues, but not so many that your campaign looks petty and negative. Whoa, we got way redder in these states here. It looks like I'm sure we've picked up some new states. We're leading in a lot of states now. So we've got a good chance. Okay, we're going to go after California. We're going to go after New York. Let's see how we're doing in Texas. Looks like it's kind of a lost cause in Texas. No, I wouldn't say so. Let's shore up support in California, maybe New York first. Okay, let's go to New York. Okay, you have vetoed a significant number of bills in your 2 years as president. What was your reasoning? So I can blame it on the Democrats, with their huge majorities, have passed bill after bill outside of the American mainstream. I've been left with little choice. Congress is simply too liberal. I hope that the American people will elect Republican congressmen to be my partner over the next 4 years. Okay, this is good. It's saying this is blown out of proportion. I've proposed my own alternatives. So yeah, they're sort of saying, what are you gonna do? Not a bad answer. Your Secretary of Agriculture, Earl Butz, will be, if I'm pronouncing that right, will be quoted in next week's Rolling Stone as making some very crude and racist jokes. Some have suggested you fire him before the article is released. What are your thoughts? So we could wait and see how the public reacts to this. We could take a hardline stance. He has to leave immediately. We could say, a couple of bad jokes shouldn't ruin someone's career. Let's keep him on board. Or we could say, let's have him leave the day the article comes out. That way the connection is clear. I think we should take this approach. We can't just let it happen. We can't just let him stay. I think we should, or we could do that he should leave immediately. Let's just go with this. So this is a good proactive step that helped minimize the damage from Boots' gaffe. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Alright, and we're leading in, I guess, the same amount of places, it looks like. Doing better in Texas, more of a shot. I think I'd like to shore up some support here in Ohio. And we only have 8 questions left, I think. Or 9. Could we have done more to save South Vietnam in 1975, such as airstrikes or a limited engagement? We were trying to provide more aid to South Vietnam, but Congress would not approve additional expenditures. The results of that policy are clear. I think the fact that this regime collapsed so fast once American troops were gone shows how unsound it really was. We should have never fought the Vietnam War in the first place. We defeated ourselves throughout this war. American firepower could have knocked North Vietnam into submission if we had been more aggressive, or we did our best in Vietnam, but unfortunately things didn't go the way we wanted. I'm going to go with this, I think. This is the type of middle ground answer that will keep you from alienating any large segment of voters. Okay, in 1972, George McGovern proposed replacing the income tax exemption with a $1,000 guaranteed minimum income for every American citizen. Are you interested in this type of proposal? Okay, so this is just being in favor of it. We're not going to do that. This is an interesting idea, but I'm more concerned about issues like education and healthcare. This is saying tax exemptions are efficient. This is like we need to focus on reducing government and lowering taxes. Let's see how this goes. A little more conservative. See, I think, maybe losing support in the liberal areas. No, because it looked like we were slipping in New York before, actually. Okay, New Jersey is a solid prize. Maybe we can try to win there. I want to at least do better than Ford did in real life. So let's see, is there any place where we could eke out victory here? Wisconsin, we're a little too behind, maybe. Iowa, it's only 8. Let's just do it. What are your feelings in the Gregg versus Georgia case recently decided that allows capital punishment in the U.S.? Neutral states decide. This is a positive step forward. I'm opposed to the death penalty, but maybe slightly support it. Even if permitted, I would hope that our states would move to abolish the death penalty. I'll let the states decide. What is your position on right-to-work laws? Would you support a national bill to repeal Taft-Hartley and do away with right to work? So, I don't really know too much about what this is, but I think it's sort of like an anti-union. Like, the unions would be against this type of thing. And then there's other people that would be in support of this thing. So, I'm a strong supporter of labor unions and would support this type of measure. This is going the opposite direction. I kind of want to support the unions and gain in the union states where it's quite close. But then that could hurt me in some areas. Oof, it's a tough decision. Let's see. It looks like all these places are pretty moderate. Let's just go moderate. Let's see how it goes. I'm way up or only up 4 in Michigan. I mean, we've got a good shot. We've really got a good shot. I don't think we can win New York. I just think that maybe they're too liberal. Or it looks like they're moderate, but I think Carter actually won New York by a good amount in 76. We're up in New Jersey, folks. We're up in New Jersey. Oh no, that's Carter. He's up by 1 point. Dang it. We're up in Connecticut. Let's go for... The heck with it. Let's just see if we can win Texas. Gun control. Let's see. They're conservative on social issues. I think that you'd be anti-gun control then. In 1976. Okay, I'm an opponent overall, but some common sense measures are appropriate. Gun control is ineffective at reducing crime rates. This is being sort of pro-gun control, I guess, like more pro. I think we're going to go to an opponent overall. Texas, I think, would like this answer more than some of the others, but it also won't be too alienating to some other states. This is a pretty safe answer that appeals to your party without alienating moderates. Should there be a ban on nuclear weapon testing? I really don't know what I should say here. I think that overall people would like this. Okay, I've come on down on the dovish wing. Dang, I just lost big in Texas, it looks like. Ugh, it's slipping, it's all slipping from us. Okay, what are we gonna do? It's all slipping from us. I think we just lost Oregon. Looks like we lost some other states here. Let's go for Virginia, folks. Let's go for Virginia. They're slightly more on the conservative end, it looks like. Do you think that the Panama Canal should be turned back over to Panama? Absolutely not. The United States built this canal, and it is a central part of world commerce. Who knows what might happen if we put Panama in charge? This is an issue I'll have to consider more closely over the next couple of years. Let's see how the current negotiations go. I support this as a positive step, and I'm eager to see how current negotiations play out. Let's go neutral. So this is half and half in terms of some ups, some downs. The United States started selling large amounts of grain to the Soviet Union in 1973. What is your opinion on this policy? This policy is a win-win. It helps our farmers and public relations victory, showing the Soviet Union depending on us. This policy helps support an unsustainable Soviet system. So this is saying we should not sell to the Soviet Union. This is saying I don't really care much one way or the other. I think we should go with the win-win. A lot of farm states are happy, and this is a good foreign policy one as well. Let's see if we've improved in some farm states. If I know which ones are the farm states. I think Kansas is a farm state. I think Minnesota is. Yeah, Minnesota is obviously a lost cause at this point. Yet Carter is edging us out in so many places. California. Looks like we're edging him out in Illinois. But like these West Coast states, I mean, I guess it's just California, and then he's edging it out in a lot of states by maybe more substantial margins. Virginia looks like we're making some progress. It's tied, basically. Let's go back to Ohio here. Okay, I think this is interesting. Where will you focus your efforts on the last day before the election? Folks, this part can be pretty major. The Midwest is critical. We'll hit as many states as we can between Iowa and Ohio. So yeah, you gotta do this at the end of each game. We will focus on the Southwest, starting in New Mexico and Oklahoma, and finishing in Texas. So Midwest, Southwest. We will hit the West Coast hard. Washington, Oregon, California. The East Coast from Maryland, Pennsylvania to New York and Connecticut. Okay, East Coast, probably not enough states for us to win there. West Coast, there's a case to be made, but really it's just California is the big one. That's the only major big state, it looks like. We will focus on the Southwest in New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas. Texas is lost for us. I think we want to do the Midwest where it's really pretty neck and neck. Settle in and wait for the returns. Hopefully you can pull off a comeback for the ages. I'm nervous, folks. I'm nervous. Okay. Let's see how it goes. 2% of the vote is in. 4%. I think if we click on a state, it's not showing anything until the first. Okay. Carter's home state of Georgia, easily going to him. 67%. Kentucky. You can see it's going big for him, or moderately large margin. Alright, we got Indiana. It's 38-13. Just look at this electoral votes box here. We got a couple states. You know, we didn't really pay attention to the South. I think it went pretty heavily for Carter in reality as well. Okay. See, I didn't expect to win these states, so that Carter's won. I don't think we tried too hard to win Pennsylvania. Carter passed the 200. Oh, he's on the cusp. The best we can hope for is a tie, and he gets the win. We lose, folks. Sorry, you have lost the election this time. Click OK to view the rest of the returns. Let's just view the rest of the returns come in here. We're only at 74. He's past the 300 marker. Yeah, we're doing worse than Ford did in reality. I maybe should not have been as alienating in some of my answers to the more conservative voters. And I think I also maybe made some more mistakes as well. Geez, the Midwest did not go for us. It just didn't work. We lost California. Carter's past the 400 mark. Oh my god. This is like practically a landslide. Oh crap. I did not expect to lose by this much. Wow. Okay. I swear, I've done better than this, folks. Wow. I did not expect to lose by this much. 414 to 124. I think I've won with Ford before. Wow. Okay, well, let's go to the final results here. Folks, we did not have our night. Election night did not go our way whatsoever. They're processing the results here. See, it was really close in the popular vote. Look. In the popular vote, look here. It was not that big. It was not that much different from what happened in our timeline. It was a 3.1 margin. Okay. Sorry, you have lost the 1976 presidential election. Hopefully your opponent can make good on his promises to clean up Washington and change the political and moral culture of this country. Perhaps you can still play a role in 1980 or seek your old congressional leadership positions. In any case, you can still take solace in the fact that you did the right thing by pardoning Nixon and moving the country beyond the Watergate episode. Okay. It wasn't too humiliating. It wasn't too humiliating if you look at the popular vote. It just went wrong for us in a lot of really close states. Alright, so this is the map on our screen here. Before we look at the individual results, I want to count up how many states we won. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 states. So we won 18 states. So I guess he won like 32 states if I'm doing my arithmetic right here. Okay, let's look at California. 48.6 to 48.1. We would have had a much more respectable showing if we just eked it out in California. We would have been at 169. He would have been at 369, I think. Yeah, 169, 369. And, Texas, where we kind of slipped, it wasn't that big of a margin. But, by 1976 standards, I think this is a pretty decent margin. Indiana, we still had a kind of narrow victory. Michigan, we had a good victory. Wisconsin, it just didn't go our way, the roll of the dice. Or I guess it was more than that. It was multiple points. Or it was almost 2 points. Iowa, real close. Illinois, real close. Ohio, real close here. Pennsylvania, more substantial for Carter. New York, more substantial for Carter. We didn't visit Maine at all. It was within 0.8. Virginia, oof. That's a loss that we didn't want. It looked like we were catching up here in Virginia. Florida, which I think maybe Ford won in our timeline. We really neglected Florida. That might have been a mistake. It's a solid 17 electoral votes, too. Wow. So, Carter got 414. Sorry if you can hear some wood cracking in the background. But Carter got 414 electoral votes. We got 124 electoral votes. Wow. Well, we could do this all day looking at each individual result, but overall results details here. So yeah, we lost pretty big in the electoral college, but it was way closer in the popular vote. This might, be one of the most, if this actually happened, would be maybe one of the most, if not the most disproportionate elections in terms of the correlation between the popular vote and electoral college, I think. Or, one of the most surprisingly wide gaps. You've done better than approximately 19.1% of the games that have been played with your candidate in difficulty level. So we did worse than the majority of players. So the historical results, I think this is everyone who's played this. Okay, so we're not in the minority here. Carter wins 89% almost percent of the time. And he normally wins, I guess, with 345 electoral votes to our 193 roughly. And we got kind of the average popular vote percentage too. So we just did a little bit subpar. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's episode. This is just a kind of a cool game. And so yeah, trying to win as Gerald Ford. We honestly were not that far when you look at the individual results for each state, but the electoral college just disproportionately went against us with the winner take all system. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thought it was interesting. I enjoyed making it for you guys, and if you like this type of content I make here on this channel, normally I do election analysis, election historical videos, whatnot. This is, sort of falls within that. But yeah, if you're into this type of content, just definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel because my videos are going to be right up your alley. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thought it was interesting to watch me play this game. Maybe I'll leave a link to this game in the description. But yeah, I'll see you in the next Election Center video. Bye, guys.